welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis, and today we will be continuing my Doctor Who rewatch. Today we will be talking about Season 1, Episode 3 of Doctor Who, titled The Unquiet Dead. The Doctor and Rose have great expectations, about teaming up with Charles Dickens to investigate zombies. And in line with the number of main doctors, I will give you 13 interesting facts about this episode. This was the first episode of the revival to take place in the past, and it was intended to show the range of the show. Contemporary Rose, futuristic sci-fi aliens, and in the past with familiar famous names. This episode was written by Mark Gatiss because showrunner Russell T Davies realized he didn't want to write every episode himself. The episode was originally titled My Name's Dickens, Charles Dickens. I'm so glad they changed it. The American advert for this episode stated, "The year 1869, the place England, the problem The Walking Dead." But the problem with that advert is that it didn't take place in England, it took place in Cardiff, Wales, about 2.5 hours away. Although the story of the episode is set in Victorian Cardiff, modern Cardiff doesn't have very many Victorian buildings, so they had to actually film in Swansea. In an audio adventure, the Sixth Doctor actually met a Charles Dickens character, the Artful Dodger, in the land of fiction. Gatiss's original script for the episode was more dark and bleak and gruesome, but Davies wanted him to make it more like a romp. The time rift is a weak point in space and time, a major plot point for the future TV series Torchwood. At one point, Dickens says, "What the Shakespeare?" which is an obvious play on What the Dickens, but What the Dickens didn't have anything to do with good old Chuck. The scenes in the funeral parlor were filmed in a children's home in Cardiff. Simon Callow, who played Dickens, had extensive knowledge of the person, the individual, his works. He even played Charles Dickens in multiple different facets, but when he heard that Charles Dickens was going to be in Doctor Who, his heart sank. He felt that any use of Dickens in fiction would be just the cliche Victorian character and not really understand anything about the actual person and his works. But then, after getting involved, he said that Gatiss knew exactly what he was doing with Charles Dickens, and he was able to connect Dickens's idealism with the Doctor's ability and want and desire to save the world. According to Gatiss, there was originally a scene where the Doctor was going to be mistaken for a cleaner, and someone was going to say, "I thought you'd be a woman," and the Doctor says, "Nope, not yet." Stick around for tomorrow's video when we talk about the next episode, Aliens of London. But that's it for this episode of my Doctor Who rewatch. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.